This chapter does Byakuya so much justice. Welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry. Here at Everything Anime Podcast, talk about it from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and whatever relevant topic I talk about. Today's video is on Dr. Stone chapters, I think it's 114 to 115. I'll double check that when I check my notes. But yeah, it's only 2 chapters again, but because it's like such a huge and great cliffhanger, I didn't want to continue. I wanted to like pause, even though I'm a little bit further ahead. I'm about 130 chapters in, so about 15 chapters ahead of you, but I'm going to catch you guys up before I continue because, woo, there's some speculation to go on from here. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the chapters. Obviously expanding my location. I travel on the road. I don't have my setup yet, so just bear with me. I know the locations are always different. So, when the chapter opens up, it's nighttime, and Kohaku finally makes her move to infiltrate the Master's base. And I was just thinking, like, is this where we're going to see the Y-Man's face? The guy that said, why, over and over again. Is it already going to happen, or is she going to get caught, and then, you know, things are going to go haywire? Because I'm like, we just got, it's like, when we infiltrated Tsukasa's base, the battle began like pretty quickly, so I would not be surprised, and especially with only 230 chapters in the manga, I would not have been surprised if like the battle with the Y-Man started almost immediately. But we had not seen this guy's face yet, or had we? I wasn't sure. But surprisingly, Kohaku does easily make it into the Y-Man's master's tree, or I'm gonna say the master's tree. We don't know if he's the Y-Man. We just know he's the master. She makes it into his tree very easily, actually. Doesn't encounter any enemies, but she does come across the space shuttle. However, it's rotten away because obviously it's been 3,000 years, and the continents inside are surrounded by concrete. So she's like, oh shit, I did find the space shuttle, but you know, we can't get to the platanium without breaking this concrete open. So she thinks about, like, you know, the way the time capsule, or the time capsule / you know, record was inside of that stone, inside of Senku's father's gravestone, and how it required like brute force and precision to open it. But she's in the heart of the enemy's base. If she loudly breaks open this concrete, all the enemies are gonna know where she's at. They're gonna know like she's in the master's treehouse. We have to stop her. We have to get her. She's obviously an invader. Senku, however, isn't discouraged by this and quickly comes up with a way to forge a plaster since he doesn't have access to a silent bomb. So he's like, we can break open that concrete, but it's going to need an explosion, but we want to make it like where no one else will hear. Now, I had never heard of a silent bomb before, and obviously the manga is going to show us and tell us how to do it, but I thought it was pretty cool. The following day, Senku provides her with plaster through the motor mouses, and while Amaryllis and Genro had to distract the guards with the dance. Now this was pretty funny because Genro, obviously being a guy and not into men, he's like reluctant to dance with the other men, even though he's in disguise. But you know, Amaryllis, she's team player, she does her thing, and again, the men are just thinking what they shit dumb, so they obviously are just falling for it. Now, in order for this to work, though, Kohaku still has to create cracks in the concrete for the plaster to seep in through. So, like, the silent bomb is kind of small, and the concrete's really, like, big. And they also don't want it to destroy the continents inside the platanium and stuff like that. So, she, like, needs them to make enough effort, like, to distract the guards, where she can, like, you know, dig all these holes in there and insert the plaster. And it takes some effort to make the noise it gets some of the guards' attention, and like they're like, what was that noise? It came from the master's tree. And that's when Genro quickly improves a noisy dance using his spear to provide Kohaku cover. He just like starts spinning his staff around. He's like, woo, yeah, look at me. And he's just like randomly slamming his staff around, like he's like, oh yeah, I'm the reason why all this noise. And the guards are like, what a weird fucking dance. But I mean, he knows how to use that spear, like or she knows how to use that spear. Hilariously, even Amaryllis is impressed with his spear dance and asks how he learned it. But Genro replies it's a tactic he used to make his opponents run away because he's afraid of fighting, which is hilarious because we know Genro's whole thing is like running from combat and, not the ultimate move, not my problem. So it's not that he mastered those moves to be a master in combat. He mastered those moves to like, hey, watch out, I'm crazy. Very funny, very accurate to his character. Very much love that. Love to see Genro. Genro is growing on me as an S-rank character. Meanwhile, Kohaku and Senku's plan did work. The distraction that Amaryllis and Genro caused with the noise allowed her to break open the concrete with the silent bomb. Sorry. But I was wondering, so if we already obtained Platanium this easily, are we going to face the Y-Man? Are we going to face the Master? Like, we have everything we need now because Platanium is going to give us infinite. It's going to give us infinite miracle fluid. It's going to give us infinite nitric acid. That's all we need to revive people. So I was curious. I was like, are we not going to encounter the Y-Man? Are we not going to encounter the Master? It was hard to say this early, but Kohaku does open the chest, and all she finds at first is sand. And I was like, shit. We came all the way to Treasure Island, we infiltrated the Master's base, and we don't have anything. Like, it's not that we basically lost. Like, we have to either find a way back to, the original Miracle Cave, the nitric acid, or maybe the Y-Man / Master took the Platanium because he knew what it was for, and he's hoarding it, and that's how he's been. I was assuming at this point he's been reviving people that he chose, or this is like, he knows what Platanium can be used for, and he's like, oh, I'm going to hoard this so no one else knows how to bring people back. Despite this, though, Kohaku does realize that it can be important because knowing Senku, he can turn anything into a weapon of science. So Kohaku's like, this might just be sand, but even if it is just sand, Senku has turned everything we built, every weapon he's created for us, not weapon, every scientific item he's made for us into something else. Like, he always has a way to do something. So even I thought about what Kohaku was saying. I was like, I don't know what he can do with sand. I know sand with lightning turns to glass, but we already have glass. Like, glass isn't something new that we need. So I was like, or sand with electricity, I guess. Well, specifically it's supposed to be lightning, but I guess electricity would work. But I was like, what are we going to do with the sand? Even better, thankfully, Kohaku got away in the nick of time because the Master's guards show up shortly after she escapes. So they did hear her maybe when the silent bomb went off, or they just suspected something. But she made it out in the nick of time. Love Kohaku. Kohaku is S rank. Again, at the very end of Dr. Stone, I'm going to make my tier list for all the Dr. Stone characters that I love, and she's going to be on there. Now, thankfully, she gets this as well to Senku without any issue, and he determines that it's not sand, but gold dust. So, again, I was thinking, this is something useful. I don't know what gold dust is, but obviously, Senku is going to be able to use gold dust to create something new. So, I was like, it wouldn't be that easy to get Platanium, but maybe gold dust can be used for something like that. But then I kept reading a little bit more, because I was surprised about what I learned. And this is where we get the greatest scene of Byakuya ever. It also turns out that within that gold dust are tiny pieces of plutonium, which is all Senku said he needed. Remember, back on Ishigami Village, Senku said all he needs is a tiny piece of plutonium to create infinite nitrocytic acid to bring everybody back. But within this gold dust are a bunch of tiny pieces of plutonium. So we can bring back everybody. We have achieved the goal. And we did this all without fighting the Master, all without fighting the Y-Man. So I was like, there's still 80 chapters left. What is going on? There's no way that we're going to bring back the entire world already. I was like, what else could happen? Well, let's get to that. So, Byakuya had full faith in his son that he would revive all of humanity one day. Like, Byakuya knew that Senku would need Platanium. He knew Senku would find a way to save everybody. So he just started gathering whatever materials he could find, all in his last days, because everybody, he grew old, his wife died, Lilian died, his friends had passed away, they either got sick from pneumonia. Well, we know the early friends died from pneumonia, the young guy's wife, he died, and then the doctors went out to sea to look for medicine that could be out there somewhere. And, Byakuya, his wife eventually died, and then Byakuya was dying. So up until the point that he died, he collected everything around the island that he thought could help his son in the future. He wanted to make sure the future would be saved. And I love that as he falls face first into the water, like as he's dying, his last thoughts are of his son Senku. He's like trying to look up at the sky. He's like, Senku, I know one day we'll both be looking up at the same sky. Oh, because like I think it was space specifically because his father had always wanted to go to space, and then Senku said he was going to go to space. So I just very great, very cute, like not Easter egg, but like paying off. What do we call it in writing? Not foreshadowing. I guess I'm gonna just call it paying off. It's paying off what it sowed. Like he is looking up at space because that's where he told his son would go, and that's where his son wanted to go. So I loved Byakuya after this. Byakuya is definitely S rank tier. Definitely adding his figure to my collection when I start collecting figures for my space, my setup. We also learned that Senku's real father was good friends with Byakuya's dad, but we don't know any further details yet about him. I imagine like his father could be the Y-Man. I mean, that's just a far-out theory. We don't even know who the Y-Man is. But a better twist is that Denku is, I mean, in my opinion, it's a better twist than Deku's father being All for One, which, by the way, it wasn't. My Hero Academia ended and we never knew who Deku's father is. Pokemon ended, we never knew who Ash Ketchum's father was. One Piece is going and strong and we don't know who Luffy's mother is. So it could be like one of those open mysteries that we'll just never know. But I do like that. I like that, like, Byakuya didn't just randomly adopt him. Like maybe something happened to Senku's father where Byakuya adopted him. But either way, I love it. Stepfather or real father, Byakuya is all that's left, and I love him, especially after this chapter. And he left this all for Senku, knowing that one day he could make a machine to create endless revival fluid. Love that. And again, I hear you say there's over 80 chapters left. What could still happen if Senku has the infinite revival fluid already? Well, because I'm a little bit further ahead, I can tell you shit is about to get crazy. Okay, it's about to get real crazy. So look forward to the future videos. Again, this was a very short video. I didn't have many notes on it, but I really, really am enjoying the Dr. Stone manga. I was watching the anime last night, the Stone Wars. And again, I have to say, I'm glad I'm reading the manga over watching the anime. The anime kind of goes really fast and kind of like skips through things. I mean, it's not that it's skipping through, but like you don't get the same emotions I think you get from the manga. And that's just maybe because like reading, you have to visualize. And I mean, it's a manga, but like you visualize and hear the characters in your head and you see the scenes a little bit longer, whereas the anime just kind of flips right through them. And it invites speculation as you're reading. So I prefer the manga over the anime right now. But still enjoying it, finding it very fun. Anyways, that's all for today's video. The next Dr. Stone video will be out very soon because, again, that's all currently out to read. One Piece did drop a new chapter, but didn't feel like there was much to say. We're going to Elbaf, which is awesome. Boruto dropped, and there was nothing to talk about there. Not even being funny. There was nothing to talk about in Boruto. Nothing. Anyways, talk to you guys again soon. And I want to get back to game reviews. I want to get back to movie reviews. I want to start talking about TV shows. But again, all in good time, guys. All in good time. Anyways, talk to you guys in the next video. See you later. Bye. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys would be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, fabled lovers, a cursed virgin's bite. If you go where monsters dance, red will reign over your house. Love be damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love BK's right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.